Welcome to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and today we are taking a slight break from our in-depth series on our characters, which I hope you guys are enjoying so far, and we are just going to be a little lighthearted and look at the most recent Ewok event that they have added. Now, this new assault battle, or I shouldn't say new, it is slightly retweaked from the last time. It is meant to be a bit harder than before, so in the gameplay you're seeing right now, the first round with my all Empire characters maxed out, modded up and everything. This is the very hard challenge that they recently updated. They added a few things to make it more difficult. I'll tell you my personal opinion in a second on this new updated version of the battle. And the second video you'll be seeing is me doing the lesser difficult one with my all droid squad. I have my maxed out Grievous, my maxed out IG-88, my recently unlocked B2 Super Battle Droid that I'm working on for you guys to do a review. So enjoy the gameplay, but let's go ahead and talk about this new rework on the assault battle. So pretty much what they did is that in this tier 2 version, the video that you're watching right now, is they are trying to make it a bit more difficult. They're trying to gear it towards people who have maxed out characters for this synergy like myself. Not many people have the Empire maxed out besides maybe Palpatine and Royal Guard. Beyond that, not many people have maxed out Empire characters, so I have heard that people who were in that situation found this very difficult. So I kind of understand. We had the Rebels and Clones assault battle not too long ago, and in that one, I found that one difficult because I don't really have too many geared up characters for that one, for the Rebels and Clones. So I found that difficult. I actually did not participate in it because it was too challenging for me, and I didn't want to sit there about 50 times in a row trying to beat it, because the rewards, they're okay, but they're not something that incentivizes me to go ahead and invest a lot of time in beating. But with this event now, I feel like this is actually way easier than the time from before. The first time they had the assault battles, granted mods weren't integrated yet, but I had the same geared up characters. But it might be a lot easier now because Palpatine as a lead is great for the Empire, and he's a really big damage dealer. So that might be what's the case, or it might be the mods that are making this a lot easier. But personally, I did not see a huge challenge in this. I kind of just flew by it, as you guys see. And after this gameplay, on my own time, I just actually auto these battles because they're very simple on both tiers for myself. So for you, if you feel like you can't participate in this event, I'd say don't sweat it. You're not missing much. You're missing about 300,000 credits, a couple random Ewok shards, and a couple pieces of purple gear that I already have a couple hundred of. So you're not missing out on too much there. But a lot of people have been able to complete the first tier. At least people have a somewhat decent IG-88, 86, all that fun stuff, and they combine their Palpatine. So it's doable. I just don't think with my lineup that the whole purpose of this was that the second tier, I should say, was supposed to be very challenging. They even added the little green symbols that's called deadly on top of some of the Ewoks to mean that they're very deadly. But I didn't find that to be the case. But you know, it's something to play right now because right now we are in a somewhat dead period in the game where not too much is happening. So it's something to kind of just mix things up a little bit. Now, another thing that they added to this second tier to make it more difficult in case you can't make it that far and you don't know what's going on. In the last tier, what they did is that they made Chief Chirpa have a much higher tenacity in the last wave. So you're not going to be able to shock him or stun him as often as you normally could have. And the other thing, which is actually kind of cool, I think it's kind of a fun thing to have, this actually would be a great ability for Ewok Elder, but when you take out the Ewok Elder, he resurrects all of the dead Ewoks when after you kill them. So that means if you kill all those Ewoks at first, they'll just resurrect at the very last minute when Ewok Elder dies. Still, it doesn't really add too much of a hard element for me because most of my Empire characters that I'm using have a deadly AoE attack against them, so I'm usually able to wipe out all those weak Ewoks quite fast. So those are pretty much the main things. They meant to make the Ewoks more deadly. Chief Chirpa has a higher tenacity. Ewok Elder in the last tier, he goes ahead and resurrects everyone. Besides that, they also they said they made the rewards a bit higher than before. So again, it's something nice to have. For me personally, you know, it's not too much of a reward, but I feel like for the people who are who do find this very challenging, they're probably not going to see a big reward after completing this. For me though, it's kind of like one of those auto events, kind of like the the Rebel Pathfinder event that we have this month. Super easy. You just auto it. You get the one shard. You know, that's it. That's kind of how this feels like for me. But for people who find this very challenging, I'm guessing they wish they can see some better rewards out of this. Some other things before I get to some other details, other things that are happening in the game right now is that they actually added some low-level gear pieces inside a guild shipment. So people have been like piling on coins. They don't know what to do with them. So if you're looking for some low-level gear, you can go into the guild shipments. Another thing which they just brought back again is that in the shard shop, if you are just piled and piled and piled with shard currency all over you, you can actually buy gear pieces again. They had it a while ago and then they took it out. I can't remember the exact reason why, but it's back. And you also have a refresh button to the shard shop. So you can just spam that shard shop refresh and maybe get Vader much faster than you normally could. But you know, again, it's all just randomly generated numbers. So you might get him more often, you might not. But at least you can refresh it and perhaps increase the amount of Vader shards you see if he's one of your goals. And some other little news, they are bringing back the Mach 5 droid callers and the Mach 7 Nubian scanners in the daily shipment. So in case you're short on gear, you could just go ahead and buy them straight from there. And moving on past all this fun little news and this assault battle that we have going on, I want to go back to a video I made a while ago about how EA made me a content creator, and all that pretty much means, in case you didn't watch that video, is that they kind of brought me behind the scenes. They want me to give feedback on the game, all that fun stuff. And what I did a few videos ago is I shared a link with you guys on submitting your feedback and also submitting questions you want me to ask the producer when I interview them next month during EA's event where they're having in California, and they're inviting me there, all that fun stuff. So what I want to talk about right now is some of the feedback you guys gave me and some of the ones that I've proposed so far and kind of gave to the developers. But whatever I send to the developers as ideas, that's all they are. They're just ideas. It doesn't mean they're going to integrate them. Doesn't mean anything like that. It's just me kind of sharing your feedback, synthesizing all of it, and saying, hey, based off my viewer or my viewers, this is what they're looking for. And a lot of the stuff I thought of the same thing, and I do agree with you guys. So I'm going to let you know what I have proposed so far and some other things that I haven't gotten to yet, but they're great ideas. So the number one thing that I totally like, and I thought of the same thing, is that we need to create something kind of like, let's call it the training ground. And essentially what this training ground is, it's kind of at the table where you just free play, you create some random squads, you test them out in a safe manner without having to go to arena, waste an attempt, risk getting knocked down because you have a very weird lineup, not depending on Galactic War to test out your squads. And how this training ground would work is that you battle fellow guild members or fellow allies with their arena squad, so that way you can kind of compare what your lineup is to the arena typical lineup, so you can test it out. And the benefit is when you test it out, you might realize, hey, this is a great lineup, or I really like their character. I'm going to spend a lot of money, spend a lot of credits on leveling them up, and I think it's a great idea. Another thing that I proposed so far is let's move some of the gear from the lower daily challenges up. For example, on Wednesdays, when you have the tank characters, I have to go to tier 2 for my gear instead of the max tier. So there's a couple of them like that where you have to kind of move up a little bit, and or move down, I should say, and farm at the lower levels because none of the good stuff is up at the highest tier. So I think we should move that up to the highest tier because it only makes sense. Because most people either have 1,000 of the purple gear at the max tier, but they have 0 of the gear at tier 2. So moving it up would be a great little thing that would make the community happy. But yeah, guys, there's a lot of feedback from you that's not enough to cover in this video. So later on, we will make another video kind of just kind of bullet pointing everything you guys mentioned, and as well as talking about what questions you want me to ask the producers. So beyond that, guys, I hope you guys are having fun with this assault battle. Hopefully it's not too hard for you guys. The next video we are going to do, by super popular demand, I got about 20 requests or 30 requests of this. We are going to be reviewing Kylo Ren as our next in-depth video. So stay tuned. I'm going to do the research, pull the data, all that fun stuff. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk again later. Peace out.